you are here. I'm grateful for your time. And remember, my goal is to add value to you today. My goal is for you to be glad that you invested your time here in this place. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. William Attaway. I'm an executive coach who specializes in mindset, leadership, and productivity. I serve entrepreneurs, founders, agency owners, and leaders who want to conquer challenging situations, who want to maximize their potential. And I help them do that through clear-minded focus, calm control, and confidence. By developing those three things, that gives you the building blocks for the mindset that you need to succeed. If you are struggling in these areas, I can help you. Remember, mindset is 90% of the reason why people succeed or not. If you struggle with imposter syndrome, if you struggle with an unhealthy mindset, being overwhelmed by all of the chaos around you, if you struggle with focus, fighting with self-doubt and self-sabotage, I can help. I have been a student and a practitioner of leadership for over 30 years now. I've been coaching leaders for over 25 years. You can book a call with me anytime at catalyticleadership.net. Let's get started today. Finding the right team members can be a challenge. That's an understatement, isn't it? Finding the right person can be so difficult. Any business owner, any leader can relate to this. It's not just about finding a warm body. It's about finding the right body. It's about finding the right person. But how on earth do you know? Well, I believe there are strategies that can help. And this is from my own experience leading teams, crafting teams. And this is from my experience in coaching other leaders to do the same. I want to talk with you about how I've done this and how I've coached other people to do this and about the strategies that I believe can help you. I want you to take these and I want you to use them to do the same with your team. There are some strategies that I believe can make a really big difference if you know what they are and if you begin to implement them intentionally. By the way, if you're watching this on the replay, type replay in the comments so I know you were here. I love to connect with people. Crafting a high-performance team begins by looking at who is on the team. We start with who. Now this gets into hiring. There's a framework, a strategy that I've used for many years now. I was first taught a part of this by a mentor decades ago. And I've added to and built onto this in my own leadership journey. And I want to share this with you. This is what I call the 5 C's, right? The first C in this framework is character. Character. This is something that I'm looking at. When I'm evaluating a potential team member, I want to know if this person is a person of integrity, meaning they're going to do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. Now, if you're looking at this and evaluating this, you'll begin to pick up on this as you go through the hiring process. When they say they're going to show up for a meeting, are they there? Are they on time? Or are they late? Is there always a reason why they couldn't quite get there? Or why they couldn't send that thing when they said they were going to send it? Right? This is part of character. These are issues that I'm looking for when I'm evaluating a team member because characters are non-negotiable with me. I want to make sure this is very, very important for every member of our team. I want them to know they can count on and depend on one another. That's why character matters so much. If you want to be a high-performing team, if you want to create and craft a high-performing team, character is number one. It is the non-negotiable. I counsel people all the time. I coach them and I hear them talk about team members. And I think, and I ask often, did you evaluate the character when you made this hire? You know what I hear so often? I didn't really, I just assumed. Don't assume. It's not going to be helpful for you or for them. Make sure they know this is a non-negotiable part of being on your team. That's going to raise the bar for people on your team and for people who want to be on your team. It's going to help them understand this is part of who you want to be, the team you want to craft intentionally and purposefully. Character, non-negotiable. The second C is competency. Competency. Now this gets around, can they do the job? Can they do what it is you're hiring them to do? You would think this is, well, self-explanatory, right? Everybody knows this. You hire somebody who can do a job you need them to do. And yet, I have seen teams hire people thinking, well, they'll grow into it. They'll figure it out. They'll learn as they go. Be very careful with that. Now, I'm not suggesting you don't give people a chance, particularly early in their career. I'm not suggesting that you don't say, hey, I see potential here, and I believe you can grow into this. Potential is based on performance. It's based on the past, right? You look at the past, you say, hey, what is the potential of this continuing or growing moving forward? You got to be purposeful there. You got to be intentional in how you're evaluating that. I want to make sure they can do the job that we're hiring them to do, or that they can learn it. I'm more than willing to give somebody a chance, and I bet you are too. But we have to be purposeful in saying, hey, competency is a non-negotiable. You may not know it all today. That's okay. But we're going to evaluate this a month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. We're going to regularly and consistently evaluate your growth in this to make sure you are what we need you to be. You're bringing what the team needs you to bring. That's the competency piece. Everybody's going to know if there's somebody on the team who doesn't have the competency to do what it is they're supposed to do. Avoid that. That's not going to be helpful in crafting a high-performing team. First, character. Second, competency. Third, commitment. Now, commitment is saying, hey, I want to know they're going to be around for a minute. I want to make sure this is not just a job hopper who 3 months from now is going to bounce somewhere else. We're going to be investing in them, right? We pour into and invest in our team members because we want to see them grow and develop. And I want to make sure they're committed to the team. I'm not saying they're going to be here forever. And if you think your team is going to be with you forever, let me help you out here and tell you that's an unrealistic expectation, right? You need to right-size that. I talk in terms of seasons. You're going to be with us for a season. And I don't know how long that season's going to be, but commitment means that it's going to be longer than a week or a month or even 3 months. I want to see you be here for a while because that's how long it takes to really make an impact. I want to be able to pour in and invest in you to help you develop and grow so that you can then go to your next season better equipped, better prepared for what that season's going to require. But that does take commitment. And this is something you'll pick up on in the interview process as you're evaluating potential team members. You'll pick up if their last jobs they've stayed an average of 4 months, commitment could be an issue. Be mindful of that. That's the third C. The fourth C is chemistry. This is where I bring the rest of the team into the hiring process. I want to get their perspective because they have a different perspective than I do. You have one perspective. I have one perspective. I want multiple perspectives on a potential team member, right? I want to see what their chemistry is like with the team because you're going to be spending some time together. I want to see what they see. I want to hear what they hear. Now, this requires a level of honesty and transparency among your team members. And I hope that's the culture that you're building. But the chemistry does matter. I've seen many pitfalls avoided by bringing other team members in who pick up on something that I didn't pick up on, who see or hear something that I didn't see or hear. I benefit by bringing other people into that. That's part of the chemistry conversation. I challenge you, make that part of your hiring process. Benefit from the eyes and ears of those around you. The last C is the last one I added. For a long time, it was just the 4 C's. But then I added the 5th one, culture. Every team, every organization, every business has a culture. You either have one you developed on purpose that you protect, or you have one that you might not have been as intentional and purposeful in designing. But you have a culture. Mark Miller has written a fantastic book on this called Culture Rules. If you haven't read that, highly recommend that you pick that up. Culture is very important to team health, to organizational health. And not everybody fits in every culture. That's okay. That just means they're not a fit for this team right now. You may have somebody who is a type A hard charger who comes in wanting to blow the doors off every day. That's great. But if you have a more laid back team where everybody trusts one another to get the job done, that could be a culture fit issue, right? If you're hiring somebody to manage other people and you have a very anti-micromanage culture, but this person is a very micromanaging individual, that could be a culture fit. These are things you have to look at and evaluate. You need to be mindful of this. That's why culture is a part of the filter that I use, part of the framework that I use when evaluating potential team members. So let me ask you, what is the template or system that you use when you're evaluating the fit of potential team members? Put your answer over in the chat. I'd love to hear how you're doing this. I'd love to hear what you're using these days. Now, once you have the who, you know who's going to be around the table, now it's time to move on to the how. How do you best lead a high-performing team? How do you craft that? Well, the how matters. And I've tried many ways to lead over these years. I've got to tell you, I've made so many mistakes in leadership. I have messed up so many times. But one thing I've learned is the power of the one-on-one meeting with your direct reports. A one-on-one regular meeting with your direct reports has such incredible power. And let me tell you why. You have the opportunity to listen. As a leader, you have the opportunity to listen. What I do with my direct reports is they bring the agenda. They bring what it is that they want to talk about. I'm not putting together another agenda for another meeting. They are. They have my undivided attention. They have time that is blocked out just for them. Now, I know what a lot of you may be thinking. You may be thinking, I do not need another meeting. I certainly don't need a recurring meeting. With every one of my direct reports, really? How am I going to get anything done? Understand that. Totally get it. Let me help you out. A leader's job is not to get things done. It's to get things done through other people. And this is why you investing in your team members with these one-on-one direct reports, this is why if you will do this, you will begin to communicate something to them. As you listen, as you hear, and as you ask the right questions, you will begin to learn more about them, what they bring to the table. I want to know the hopes and the dreams and the aspirations of my direct reports. Why? Because I want to help them get there. I want to develop them. I want to see them develop the skills that they're going to need to achieve what it is they want to achieve. I want to help them get there. But the only way I'm going to know their hopes and dreams and aspirations is to listen, and the one-on-one meetings are a great time to do that. This is an opportunity for you to communicate. I see you as an actual 3D human being, not just as a cog in the machine around here. And I want to help you grow and develop and achieve what is in your heart and mind to achieve. I want to help you grow and develop into that. I want to see it happen for you. When you communicate that, you communicate something that so few leaders do, and your team members will lean in. Remember, people most often don't leave jobs. They leave leaders. And when you communicate that they matter to you, that you want to learn about their hopes and dreams and help them get there, when you communicate that, people lean in. And retention goes up. And churn drops. This is what I want for you. If you're a leader who sees them, who hears them, who wants to help them to develop, they lean in. So let me ask you, do you have one-on-ones with your direct reports? Do you do this regularly? Do you know their hopes and their dreams and their aspirations? Are you helping them to develop the skills they need to get there? Put your answer over in the chat. So now you have your who and your how. Now let's get to your what. This is vision casting. See, crafting a high-performance team must include you leading at a high level. It must include you operating in that space. This is vision casting. This is goal setting. This is your own personal development as a leader. There is no microwave on this. This is the deep work that you and only you can do as a leader. When you do it, the team knows, and they are far more likely to follow you. And this is why I've had coaches for many years now, because they help me see things that I simply cannot see. I cannot see the whole picture when I'm in the frame, and neither can you. I need someone on the outside who's going to ask me questions that maybe no one else is going to ask me, and help me see things that I cannot see on my own. My coaches are a very large part of why my business is where it is today. They challenge me, they stretch me, they encourage me, and they empower me in ways that I didn't even know I needed when I began working with them. I had coaches for many years, and the power of coaching is why I have been coaching leaders for over 25 years now, helping them to achieve what is in their heart and mind to achieve. So let me ask you, are you currently leading at a high level yourself? Are you leveraging the power of coaching? Or are you trying to lead based on what you see? Are you trying to lead your team and your business based on only what you can see? Put your answer over in the chat. Now, we've talked about the who, we've talked about the how, and we've talked about the what of crafting high-performing teams. I would love to hear what your biggest takeaway today is from this talk. I'd love for you to type that over in the chat. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. Remember, if you want some help implementing these strategies, if you want some help developing a customized plan for your company, for your team, for your organization, that's what I do, and I would be honored to help you. If you want to develop a customized leadership plan for you for 2024 and beyond, to help you lead and grow like never before, go to catalyticleadership.net and book a call with me. Let's talk. Let's help you move from where you are to where you want to be. I so appreciate your time today. I do hope this has been helpful and informative for you, but I want you to remember that information without application is not effective. You have to take action. I challenge every client I coach to take action. If you want different results, you have to do something different. And knowing what to do and when to do it matters. My friends, keep learning. Keep growing. Be relentlessly intentional about clear-minded focus. If you don't have a coach, find one. Choose one who is for you, who will help you to achieve the goals that you have for 2024 and beyond. Remember, nothing is going to change until you change it. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. Thanks again for